Fatima, you are studying law. Now, did your experience in Uganda affect you thinking about what you would like to do with your legal knowledge in the future?
I think my experience in Uganda solidified that I could work for the greater good. And it was a question before I had my experience whether my law degree could contribute to social entrepreneurship. And after my experience, I see the marriage of both law and social entrepreneurship in a way that I don't see myself doing anything else. And so I think it has had a transformational experience on me and how I view my legal career.
Can you give an example of how you could use your legal knowledge to help in social entrepreneurship?
I think that transformational microfinance has an incredible role in this world, and I think to both protect donors and the organizations and the borrowers, I think law could play a very important role in regulating microfinance. Mohammed Yunus, in a recent microfinance summit, said that the world has expanded to such an extent that the need for regulation is there, but it could possibly stifle the transformational goals that microfinance is all about. And so I think that those who care about microfinance and what it can do for people and also care about the law have a way to contribute meaningfully to this world.
Great, and I notice you're getting a certificate in our international legal studies. So George is particularly well suited to help prepare you for that.
Absolutely.
Okay, sorry, I can't resist a plug. So Kelly, did you experience any kind of cultural shock when you went for your ambassadorship?
I don't know. I was fortunate enough to go abroad as a high school student. I spent a year in Taiwan, my school senior year. So I think I didn't see the traditional ups and downs that people do. You know, you have the first 2 weeks, you know, it's a honeymoon experience, and then after that it's, oh my God, I'm here. And then after that it's, wow, I'm here. After that it's, wow, I'm tired, you know. But so I was working for those, but I definitely experienced culture shock. I definitely arrived there and saw the way that they live here is so much different than the way we live. And I really enjoyed that. I mean, it changed a lot of the preconceptions I had about the way you go about, I don't know, business or personal relationships. You know, I mean, before I think I was pretty punctual and I got angry when people were late to a meeting or something like that. But then after being there and needing to gain patience, you know, if someone didn't arrive on time, you know, or you know, just waiting 30 minutes and kind of enjoying the atmosphere. You know, so I enjoyed the culture shock that I felt, but I mean, and probably, you know, there were some negative things, like, you know, going over there and seeing, wow, there is a lot of struggle here. But that culture shock really, you know, reinforced the passions and the ways I want to impact the world in the future. So yeah, I experienced it, but it was, I dealt with it, I think, really well, and I definitely learned from it.
Great, thanks, Kelly. How about you, Patrick? Same question. Culture shock?
Culture shock. Yeah, that's on. Well, I was definitely ready for it. I was actually really excited about it, as I wrote in my application. And initially, yes, I got culture shock. I flew out of spending a couple days in Disneyland to Cartagena, Colombia, which is kind of a contrast. So yeah, it was, you know, initially there was a culture shock, and also, you know, being obviously in some place you don't know, trying to figure out how to get to the hotel, you know, what continent am I on. But, you know, once I got to Honduras and started working, it started to fade, and you started to really pick up on the similarities as opposed to the differences in, a place like Honduras that, it's one of the poorest countries in Latin America, but, they have their daily life that is very, very similar to ours. And so it kind of slipped, and, it was sad, starting a routine in a place like Honduras kind of it puts everything into perspective of how, how the world is really, one and the same, although we're very different, but a lot of just the people in general, same place, so.
Thanks. Jocelyn, you're an engineer, and I visited your school this afternoon, and they kept talking about you. It was all good. It was all good. They're very proud of you to be up here on the panel this evening. So why don't you share with the group what type of engineering you're studying? I know you're getting your master's degree, but that's you also have basically completed your undergraduate studies. And then do you see your engineering knowledge as being something that you would want to apply or could apply in social entrepreneurship?
So I started my undergrad as a bioengineer. I wanted to be a doctor, like all people, I think, once or twice go through their lives. But I did a co-op, and then that changed me, and I ended up finishing my bio degree, but I added a couple of environmental classes. And so I really want to do environmental work when I'm done with my master's degree. So yes, in answer to President Heiberg's question, engineering, I think, holds a very fundamental concept in social entrepreneurship. I think that it has the impacts that engineering can have, even just a simple device like a water filter, can make such a huge difference to millions of people's lives in developing countries. Because it might mean the difference between life or death, having access to clean water on a daily basis. I think that engineering doesn't have to be complex. It just has to be innovative and, sometimes creative, And the simple solutions are usually the ones that work. And I think that I'd like to see myself developing simple solutions to complex and large problems that involve lots of people.
Great, thanks. By the way, just to let you folks know, I think it was Kelly who approached me and said that they were very nervous about the sort of questions I was going to be asking and how they were going to answer. So they sent me a list of questions, which I don't think I've asked. I think I might have asked one of the list that they sent me. So I think that they're doing a very good job improvising here. Okay, so here's another one, but I'm going to ask all of you to answer this question, and you've got a moment to think about it. I know that you stepped into existing organizations, and when I was at your stage and I'd step in, I'd certainly be doing things, but there were times that you felt, well, I felt that, oh, am I really making a difference? But I suspect that every one of you during your time on your assignment, there was a moment where you felt as if, wow, you've transformed something, or you've left an indelible print. I have been here and I have contributed as deeply as possible. That could be everything from an exchange with somebody on the street to a hard task or project you took on within the organization. So, I'd like each one of you to share one of those experiences in which you felt as if you left an indelible imprint on the country that you visited. Who would like to answer first?